hallway, but that doesn't make sense because our whole perspective is going to be different.
Our whole perspective is going to be drunk. Hey, guys. Welcome to the pod yet again. This is a special, very special after-school special. And we do these sometimes where we hop in here and play some games and have just a bunch of fuckery. But yeah, real quick. No doubt, we are balls deep in Dragon Con and most likely drunk and passed out in the hallway. If you hear this, somebody please send help! West!
Help!
Help! Yeah. Hey there, all you out there in dreamy Bobini land. Are your days filled with unrelenting horror? Do your eyeballs quake with the reverberations of haunting echoes? Does your pet Komodo dragon fart in the bed? Then do I have a podcast for you. Every episode, Amaryllis, Hazel, and Hawthorne light up your ear minds with burning movie reviews, terrifying creepypastas, and more on the Grave Girls podcast. Available everywhere podcasts are grown. Amaryllis is the youngest of three and has intense telekinetic, psychotropic, badass powers. Hazel is strong with the Force you to do whatever she pleases. Her accent is cute, yet fleeting. And Hawthorne is the eternal pun queen from beyond the stars, sent to arrest your faculty and run wild with your senses in a cacophony of agonizing bliss. So strap your grandmas down tight and subscribe to the Grave Girls podcast today. They're the goth posh Spice Girls of podcasting, baby. Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Die, the his versus her guide to the apocalypse. My name is Bret, I'm a mountain man from West Virginia. Today, we're going to be playing a little bit of Skyrim. Computer, play Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, adventurer. You had chosen to walk towards the Nord village.
Did we?
Once at the Nord
we
village, a dark elf priest greets you. He tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby mountain pass that has been terrorizing the Nord village.
Okay. Anyway, welcome listeners. We're starting this game over because for somebody apparently wasn't recording and thought he was, but, hey, joining me as always is the lovely Taylor. Taylor, say hi.
Hi.
There she is again. We've had to introduce her twice now. I just wasn't recording the first time. Taylor, I don't know anything about this game or Skyrim in general, so you're going to have to carry us. Do you think you can do that?
Sure, hop on my back.
Okay. We're turning up the computer right now. We're playing Skyrim on the amazing Amazon Echo right now, by the way.
Are you ready to face the peril ahead?
Sure!
You pause for a moment to catch your breath in the thin air. You hear clicking. That rock is actually a mud crab. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Weapon.
Your dagger pierces the mud crab. Your skill with arms has increased to level 2. The mud crab snaps its pincers. You take 5 damage. What would you like to do?
Fusroda!
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Oh, sorry.
What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos. Your mighty thumb crashes into your foe. The mud crab croaks one last breath. Defeated. You have triumphed.
Yay! Taylor, we beat a crab!
Your thumb
I
grows
think we
mighty.
should have fleed.
Your shout skill has increased to level 2.
Shit,
You
yeah.
loot the mud crab's remains, find a superior iron sword, and cast aside your old weapon. There are 2 paths before you, an exposed ridge and a steep scramble. Which do you choose?
What happened?
There are 2 paths before you, an exposed ridge and a steep scramble. Which do you choose?
An exposed ridge.
You venture further up the mountain. You arrived at Crumbling Tower, nearly collapsing under its own ancient weight. An adoring fan has been stalking you for weeks. He's harmless but so annoying. He really needs to die. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
I would like to give him a hug and tell him that somewhere somebody loves him.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use shout. Fusroda!
Foos. Unrelenting force smashes into your foe. Your shout skill has increased to level 3.
Hell yeah.
You now command unrelenting force.
We murdered
the
that
adoring
poor
fan
boy.
goes in for a hug.
He just
but
wanted
you
an
dodge
autograph.
aside. What would you like to do?
Cast a spell.
Your flames sear the adoring fan.
What the fuck?
Your magic skill has increased to level 2. You
I
have
burned
new
me.
spells. The adoring fan tries to give you a hug. You take 5 damage. What would you like to do?
Give him a hug back.
You can attack.
You can't give him a hug,
cast
Bret.
spell, use shout, or flee.
Have to kill
would
your
you like to
adoring
do?
fan.
Flee.
You're annoying.
You successfully turn tail and run away with your dignity intact. Mostly intact. There are 2 ways forward, a snowdrift footpath and an icicle-lined bridge. Which do you choose?
Bicycle line bridge.
You venture further up the mountain. The remnants of stone steps dot your path. You hear clicking. That rock is actually a mud crab. You can attack with weapon,
Oh no,
cast
not
spell,
another mud.
use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
You might have a
Flee.
sword.
You flee successfully. All's well
Let's
that
just
ends
run away
well.
from everything
You
in the game.
suppose. There are 3 paths forward, a shaded ridge, a winding, icy ridge, and a rickety wooden rope bridge. Which do you choose?
The rickety wooden rope bridge.
You venture further up the mountain. As you ascend the mountain's path, a snow fox starts from view. A wild-eyed forsworn blocks your path. He looks tough and totally psychotic.
Whoa.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Flee!
What would you like to do?
Flee.
You scamper off with your tail between your legs. No need to mention this to anyone. There are 2 paths before you, a dangerous detour trail and a winding, icy ridge. Which do you choose?
Dangerous detour trail.
Taking us to danger,
You
Taylor.
venture further up the mountain. Cut into
I'm
the
trying to
mountainside
get
is
us
an
off
ancient
the bridge.
shrine. The offerings, however, are fresh. A howl catches your ear. A black wolf is charging you, teeth bared. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
I think I want to give the good boy a pat. Please.
You can attack with
Nope.
weapon, cast spell, use shout.
We do
or
not
flee.
condone
What would you
dogfighting.
like to do?
So we're gonna flee.
You can attack with weapon,
Oh, you bitch.
cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Flee.
What would you like to do?
Fleas. Give him fleas.
You can attack with weapon,
God
cast
damn it.
spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Flee.
Skyrim's chosen one runs away.
There
but
we
the
go.
wolf attacks before you can make your escape.
Uh-oh.
You receive
Oh.
7 damage.
Ooh, 7
What would you like to do?
What are our options?
I think you need to attack.
You can attack with
Um,
weapon, cast spell,
Weapon.
use shout, or
Use your
flee.
weapon.
What would you like to do?
Weapon.
Your sword slashes the wolf. Your skill with arms has increased to level 3. The wolf bites you.
I have 3
You
arms
take 7
now.
damage. What would you like to do?
Shout. Fusroda!
Your mighty shout slams the wolf into the dirt. The wolf never gets back up. That's what you get for
Aw.
messing with the Dovahkiin. You have triumphed.
That's just sad.
You have 76 health.
No.
You ignore the useless junk in the wolf's inventory and find a flawless iron battle axe.
I was just trying.
Shiny.
How
There are
did
2
we?
paths
Hold
before
on.
you,
Hold
a carved
on.
footpath and a
Computer
narrow stone
pause.
trail. Which do you choose?
Computer stop.
There are 2 paths before
You
you.
whore.
A carved footpath
Computer.
and a narrow...
Stop Skyrim.
There are 2 paths
Son
before
of a
you.
bitch, I'm
A
turning her
carved
down.
footpath and a
Taylor,
narrow
how
stone
the
trail.
fuck does a wolf have inventory, and why was the wolf carrying an axe, and why wasn't it using the axe? Can we talk about that for a second?
I want to know why the crab was carrying a sword.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Also, what are we doing? We're just wandering around the mountains attacking crabs and wolves. I just wanted to pet the doggy
and I was just trying to shout at it to tell it to go away, and we accidentally killed it.
I thought you were used to getting crabs in the mountains.
Nope, incorrect, not true at all, good listeners. Quite false. Moving on.
There are two paths before you, a carved footpath and a narrow stone trail. Which do you choose?
Taylor.
There are
Narrow
two
stone
paths before
trail.
you, a carved footpath and a narrow stone trail. Which do you choose?
Narrow stone trail.
You venture further up the
Sounds
mountain.
like a song.
You
Narrow
go down
stone
over
trail.
the icy precipice and wonder why you ever came to these
Narrow
frozen
stone
lands in the
trail.
first place. A bandit leaps out in front of you. He won't let you leave without a fight. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your sparks shock the bandit.
Yeah.
Your magicka swells with arcane power. Your magic skill has increased to level 3. The bandit swings at you, but misses. What would you like to do?
He has bad aim. Shout.
You can attack with weapon,
Damn it,
cast
Taylor.
spell, use
Aw,
shout, or
I
flee.
tried.
What would you like to do?
Shout.
Shout.
Angrily.
Let it
Your
all
unrelenting
out.
force tosses the bandit into the air.
These are
He
the
crashes to the ground. The
Dovahkiins
bandit
that
croaks
we
one
cry
last breath.
about. So
You are
come
victorious.
on.
Your health is at 76.
We're dying.
There are two ways forward, a frost-covered scramble and an icicle-lined bridge. Which do you choose?
Icicle-lined ridge.
You venture further up the
Bridge.
mountain. A narrow bridge of ancient Nordic design stands before you. You ready your thumb for the final battle. You hear heavy clacking noises. A giant mud crab snaps its claws menacingly. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
You shout.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell,
Oh my
use shout,
goodness.
or flee. What would you like to do?
I would like to shout at the large mud crab. Hey, Mr. Mud Crab, get away from me.
Cast spell.
She
use
does not
shout,
like
or
elaboration.
flee. What would you like to do?
Shout.
Futhrow. Your mighty thumb
Futhrow!
crashes into your foe. The giant mud crab is resistant to that attack.
Uh-oh.
Of course it is.
Your thumb grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 4. The giant mud crab attacks, but misses. What would you like to do?
Hey, it's that
Flee.
name.
You consider fleeing, then remember that you are Dovahkiin, and that you really want that quest reward. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon. Use my mighty battle
Your
axe.
battle axe chops the
I
giant
got
mud crab. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage. What would you like to do?
Use spell.
Your raised zombie slaps the giant mud crab. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage. What would you like to do?
So you raise a zombie from the
Raise
dead
the
for
zombie, and the zombie slapped the fucking crab. What the fuck?
What would you like to do?
It's an interesting fight.
What kind of zombie did we raise that's just like, oh my god, crab, you're such a bad boy, and just slaps him? You deserve a little slap. Slap, slap, slap.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell.
Brains are got so many carbs.
What would you like to do?
Cast a spell.
Your raised zombie strikes the giant mud crab.
Ah.
Your foe falls at your undead
let's let me
thrall's
get up.
hands. You begin to see why necromancy is banned in some provinces. You have triumphed. You have 56 health. You have successfully cleared the mountain pass of evil. This should earn you a generous reward.
Why are crabs
You made
evil?
it all the way around the mountain back to where you began. Funny how walking in a circle will do that. The
Wow.
dark elf
Geometry.
breathes a sigh of relief
Mind.
and thanks you for putting down every last one of those vile villains. They really had it coming.
Yeah,
He
those
tosses
fucking
you a
crabs.
statue of Debella. Wait a second, this is stolen. You head out on the road. You steal a sweet roll while exploring, but feel guilty and return it to its rightful owner. After
We
walking
returned
for
a
a
sweet
while,
roll?
you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a Nord village. In
One
the other is an
direction.
isolated shack. Where would you like to go?
Home.
In one direction is a
Shit.
Nord village. In the other is an isolated shack.
Okay.
Where would you like to go?
Isolated shack.
Once at the isolated shack, a Bret fisher greets you. He tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby mountain pass that has been terrorizing the isolated shack.
What's
Will
that?
you lend your spell and steel to his cause?
Hell no.
Will you lend your spell and steel to his cause?
No. Leave the poor crabs alone.
Will you lend your spell and steel to his cause?
No. 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 No.
You head out on the road and spend some time in a tavern. But you quickly grow sick of sitting by the hearthfire and venture out into Skyrim once again. Sometime later, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a busy trading post. In the other is a fishing camp. Where would you like to go?
The camp.
Once at the fishing camp,
Fuck you.
a Bret farmer greets you. She tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby mountain pass that has been terrorizing the fishing camp.
Pretty sure
Will
they're
you lend your
crabs.
spell and steel to her cause?
No.
After heading out on the road, you pause to convert many pieces of leather into leather strips. Satisfied with your work, you return to your path and arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a small hamlet. In the other is a quaint farm. Where would you like to go?
A small hamlet, please.
In one direction is a small hamlet.
Damn it.
In the other is a quaint farm. Where would you like to go?
Small hamlet.
You meet an orc shopkeeper at the small hamlet. She's lost an item of great sentimental value, a family tree tapestry. She begs you to retrieve it for her. Will you lend your aid to this desperate shopkeeper?
Yes. As long as the mud crab
You
doesn't
follow
have
the
it.
quest marker to your destination. The fort appears to be abandoned. You wonder what awful things may have taken up residence here. Will you venture in?
Mud crab.
No.
You head out on the road.
We just ran away from the
You
quest.
arrive at a crossroads. In one direction
Oh
is a
my
village
God,
shrine.
Bret.
In the other is a foggy dock. Where would you like to go?
Foggy dock.
Wait, repeat that?
Once at the foggy dock, a
The
North
foggy
City guard
dock!
greets you.
Not the
She
doggy
tells
cock.
you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby forest that has been terrorizing the foggy dock. Will you lend your spell and steel to her cause?
Foggy dock.
Will you lend your spell and steel to her cause?
Yes.
You follow the quest marker to your destination. When you approach the forest, you see a bear fighting with two wolves. They don't seem to notice you. Do you charge into danger?
No.
You head out on the road. As you wander aimlessly, you start to wonder why so many people keep journals. It usually gets them into trouble. Eventually, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a bustling tavern. In the other is an abandoned tower. Where would you like to go?
Abandoned tower.
Once at the abandoned tower, a Red Guard messenger greets you. He tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby mountain pass that has been terrorizing the abandoned tower.
So we don't even get to go into the
Will you
abandoned
lend your
tower.
spell and steel to his cause? Will you lend your
Yes.
spell and steel to his cause?
Fuck you. Yes.
Fuck you, yes.
You
Fuck
follow
you,
the quest
yes.
marker to your destination. A great mountain stands before you. Will you venture in?
No.
After heading out on the road, you become overwhelmed with quest markers and turn them all off to enjoy the beautiful landscape. You soon arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is an abandoned tower. In the other is a spooky lighthouse. Where would you like to go?
Ooh.
In one
Spooky
direction is an
lighthouse.
abandoned tower. In the other is a spooky lighthouse. Where would you like to go?
Spooky lighthouse.
Once at the spooky lighthouse, an imperial apothecary greets you. She looks quite sad. She tells you her partner was killed by a mysterious evil in a haunted cave. Will
Hope
you
that doesn't
avenge her
happen to
partner?
Legit.
Yes.
Will you avenge her partner?
Yes.
You follow the quest marker to
I'm
your
gonna fuck
destination.
them up for taking out
the
my
cave
tailor.
lies before you. You get a feeling someone, or something, is watching you. Do you charge into danger?
Yes.
You peer through the darkness, struggling to see, then increase your gamma just a bit. You step into a
Probably
pile
a
of
fucking
webs.
mud crab.
Uh-oh. You're stuck. And a small frostbite spider starts crawling towards you. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Spiders are cool, and we're just gonna, like, put it in an enclosure and keep it as a pet.
You
Nope.
can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your battle axe chops the small frostbite spider. The small frostbite spider bites you.
Uh-oh.
You take 7 damage.
Ooh.
What would you like to do?
Shout.
Fusro.
Fusroda!
Your unrelenting force tosses the small frostbite spider into the air. It crashes to the ground. The small frostbite spider never gets back up.
Aww.
That's what you get for messing with the Dovahkiin.
Oh, Jesus.
You survived the battle.
The
Your
Dovahkiin's
health is
kind
at
of a
93.
prick.
There are 2 ways forward, an abandoned mine shaft and a rusty hinged door. Which do you choose?
Abandoned mine shaft.
You move deeper into the cave. A waterfall cascades from a shaft above, filling the chamber with cool mist. You hear the rattling of bones. A skeleton warrior lurches towards you. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your raised zombie strikes the skeleton warrior. Your foe falls at your undead thrall's hands. You begin to see why necromancy is banned in some provinces. You are victorious. Your health is at 93.
Victory!
Your magicka swells with arcane power. Your magic skill has increased to level 4. There are 2 ways forward, a low-ceilinged corridor and a spooky path. Which do you choose?
Spooky path.
You move deeper into the cave. You pass carefully over a creaking wooden footbridge. This is no place to twist your ankle. An unnatural coldness creeps over you. An apprentice ice mage stands before you. He seems unsure of his skills. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
You shout.
Fusro.
Fusro!
Unrelenting force smashes into your foe. The apprentice ice mage releases streams of frost from his hands. You take 10 damage.
Uh-oh.
What would you like to do?
Call him a nerd and hurt his feelings and make him cry.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your battle axe cleaves the apprentice ice mage. The apprentice ice mage dies. He probably should have studied in Winterhold a little harder.
Ooh.
You have triumphed.
Damn.
You have 83
Insult
health.
to injury. What the
Throw
fuck?
jade.
God,
Your skill with
brutal.
arms has increased to level 4. You ignore the useless junk in the apprentice ice mage's inventory and find a flawless iron war axe.
That's rude to murder him
shiny.
and call all
There are
his
2
stuff
paths
useless.
before you, a torchlit path and a mushroom-covered tunnel. Which do you choose?
Torchlit path.
You move deeper into the cave. Stalagmites and stalactites line the floor and ceiling, but you can't remember which one is which. A Draugr thrall blocks the way.
Stalagmites are on the
Something
ground.
is controlling you.
Stalactites are on the
And that something
ceiling.
wants you dead. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your raised zombie slaps the Draugr thrall. The Draugr thrall strikes you with its ancient sword.
Ooh.
You take 6 damage.
Ouch.
What would you like to do?
Use another spell.
You can attack with
She
weapon,
did not like
cast
that.
spell, use shout, or
I
flee.
hear.
What would you like to do?
Use spell.
Your frostbite chills the Draugr thrall.
Use vibration
The Draugr
spell.
thrall topples over,
Super
shattering
effective.
into thousands of pieces.
Throw a
If only you
Pokeball.
had a tumbler and some Zero-Dilic brandy.
The
You are victorious.
Dragon warrior
Your health
guy
is at
is
77.
captured.
There are 2 ways forward, a
Add to
damp
the
tunnel and a
Pokédex.
mushroom-covered tunnel. Which do you choose?
The tunnel.
You move deeper into the cave. Rows of mummified bodies line the walls.
Uh-oh.
At least these dead are resting peacefully. Your quest is nearly finished. You check your weapon one last time as you prepare for the final battle. A brutish Dremora churl awaits you. He laughs maniacally. You can attack with weapon, cast spell,
That's pronounced
use shout,
chimera.
or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your flames sear the Dremoraturl. Your foe is resistant to this type of attack.
She sounds drunk
The
too.
Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire towards you. You take 9 damage.
Uh-oh.
What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Futhro.
Futhro!
Your mighty shout slams the Dremoraturl into the dirt. The Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire towards you. You take 9 damage.
We're in trouble.
What would you like to do?
Shout.
Futhro. Your mighty Thum crashes into your foe. Your Thum grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 5. The Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire towards you.
Uh-oh.
You take 9 damage.
Oh.
What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your war axe chops the Dremoraturl. The Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire towards you.
God.
You take 9 damage.
We're in trouble.
What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite chills the Dremoraturl. The Dremoraturl is resistant to that attack.
Uh-oh.
Of course it is.
Your magic skill has increased to level 5. You have learned new spells. The Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire towards you.
Learn new
You
spells.
take 9 damage. What would you like to do?
Cast spell, bitch.
You can attack with weapon.
She did not like
cast
being called a
spell,
bitch,
use
Taylor.
Shout or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite stings the Dremoraturl.
Shoot.
Your foe is resistant to this type
I thought
of
we
attack.
learned new
The
attacks.
Dremoraturl blasts a stream of fire
We're not
towards you.
coming up to you,
You take
though.
9
We're gonna
damage.
die.
What would you like to do?
Shout angrily
And let
at
it
his
all
mom.
out.
Futhro. Your unrelenting force throws the Dremoraturl back, staggering it. The Dremoraturl struggles to get up, briefly, then expires.
Hey, we beat it, Taylor! Yay!
Your health is at 23. You have successfully cleared the cave of its dangers, making Skyrim
Taylor,
a
say yay.
safer place for all. You hop down a ledge
Yay.
and find yourself at the cave's entrance. Neat.
Neat.
The apothecary thanks you for bringing justice to such evil. She hands you a bottle of skooma. This reminds you of your college days at Winterhold. You head out on the road but forget about the precious ingots in your pockets and go back to town. You sell them and head out on the road again. Soon, you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a bottle.
I think that's going to be just about it for this episode today, Taylor. I think we're going to take our bottle of skumas and drink them at home. What do you think?
Sounds good.
What do you think of this this game we're playing right now, this Skyrim game on Amazon Echo?
It seems a little repetitive.
It is a little repetitive. I kind of miss Jurassic World.
No.
Reveal. No.
This is 8 billion times better than that stupid thing.
Okay, to be fair, Jurassic World Revealed is very much more, like the lady is voice acted, you know what I mean? Like, whereas this is just like a static computer voice, you know what I mean?
But it's terrible.
It's
So bad.
You know we do a comedy podcast, right? So terrible equals better material for us. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. This seems like a better, more interactive game, whereas Jurassic World Reveals seems like a more of a narrative, if you will. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Word. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this very special after-school special. Check us out next week, when we'll have some more stuff and things. Maybe. Well, me for sure. But we'll play more of this game later. More Skyrim to come. We will finish Jurassic World Revealed eventually. We will play more Horror and Darkness. It's all coming. It's just coming real slow. Like your granddad. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to rate and review us. Check us out on all the things at LetsDiePod at Twitter and Gmail. And Let's Die the Podcast at Facebook. Thanks so much for listening. Hey, Taylor, any last words?
I mean, I hope these aren't my last words.
I hope so too, but my last words are, if we're gonna die, Taylor, we might as well die together.
I don't know about all that.
Well, okay, later, bye, love you!
Bye!
Can you repeat that, please?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why is that book blank then?
Because the Dragonborn does not have a preset destiny. He can still choose whatever the fuck he wants to do.
I don't believe that's a real thing. God said on the 30th day that man's choices are his and not man's. So saith Taylor 3:16. Silence is the next best thing to agreement.